Let's talk about Assistive Touch on iOS. To access this feature, you're going to open Settings and then scroll down to Accessibility. And on the right-hand side, we're going to scroll down to the Physical and Motor section and then click on Touch. There is a lot of options in here, but we're going to be focusing on Assistive Touch. When you click on that, it pulls up a whole new menu full of lots of options and customization settings. For those of you who don't know, Assistive Touch is a little button, like a menu that will pop up on the screen, and it helps improve your access to your iPad, especially if you can't do direct access or if you have difficulty navigating some of the buttons that are a little more difficult to reach. So when I toggle Assistive Touch on, you're going to see that white dot with the black square appear. You can move this wherever you want on the screen, wherever you need to put it to make it work for you. And right now when I tap on it, nothing is happening. Why is that? That's because we haven't assigned a functionality to that tap yet. So on this screen, you'll see under Custom Actions, Single Tap, Double Tap, and Long Press. Essentially, those three settings right there will give you three different functionalities or actions all within that one button, depending on how you access it. So for example, if I click on the single tap, you're going to have lots of options in here with how you want to assign that single tap, like what action you want to happen. So you'll see all of these options under the system. And if you scroll down, they also have accessibility features, custom gestures, scroll gestures, and dwell controls. For almost everybody, I recommend that single tap be the open menu option. And then we're going to click back to Assistive Touch. So now when I tap the Assistive Touch button, a menu will pop up. But before we go into that, I wanted to point out that you can customize what's in that menu. So right there where it says Customize Top Level Menu, if you click on it, you'll see some of the options that are available. And I would like to point out, you can't put any app on here. It's really only what is like an iOS-based stock app or feature. So when in here, the way it's currently set up is Notification Center, which will tell you if you have any missed calls or an email, whatever your alerts are set to be. The device, which when you click on that, you'll have your options for some of those buttons that are a little harder to access, like your volume, screenshot, app switcher, for example. You have the Control Center, which is usually a swipe towards the middle of the screen from the upper right-hand corner of the screen. And that's where you can easily access your Wi-Fi, your Bluetooth, and then any other settings or features that you have set up in there, which we will go over later. The home button, and right now we also have a camera and a screenshot. So if you wanted to switch any of these, like let's say you don't really take a lot of screenshots, you can tap on that option and then you'll see the same list of the system or the accessibility features, and you can change this to whatever you want to be. Let's say if you're a person who has like a lot of apps open at the same time and you need to quickly get back and forth between them, it might be helpful for you to have your app switcher right here, very easily accessible and quick to get to. You can add or take away from these icons here. So if you wanted to add one, you just click that plus sign, and then you'll see a square with a plus sign has appeared in the upper right-hand corner. If you tap on that, again, that same menu pops up, and you can pick whatever you want to put in there. So I might just like leave this kind of easy. I might just put screenshot back in there. And then tap the screen, and now it's set. If you decide you don't want it, you can hit the minus button, and it gets rid of the most recent app or icon that you've added. And then you tap Assistive Touch to go back. So now when I hit the Assistive Touch button, the white one with the black square, you will see the menu that we just assigned. So for example, if I click on device, you'll see volume up, volume down, lock screen, rotate screen. If you tap more, this is where you see app switcher, screenshot, shake, the accessibility shortcut. So typically buttons that may require actual pressing or certain swipes So this is a much easier way to get to them. If you click back again, you're back in your original Assistive Touch menu, your control center, for example, where you can quickly see how to turn on your Do Not Disturb, your Wi-Fi, airplane mode, and then any of your easily accessible features at the bottom there. You can also click back home or back to your device depending on what you need to do. Okay, so if you tap the screen, it'll take you back into your Assistive Touch menu. So let's go ahead and set an action for the double tap feature. So for this one, I'm actually going to scroll down to accessibility section, and I'm going to set the accessibility shortcut as my double tap so it's a little quicker and easier to get to. And while we're here, I'm going to assign an action to the long press as well. Just to keep this simple for video purposes, I might just have it set for, I might just do like a volume down, just so you can see what it looks like. So now this is all completely set up. If I do a single tap on the Assistive Touch button, it will open up my menu. If I do a double tap, my accessibility shortcuts will pop up. So full disclosure, I've already set these up within my settings. So if you haven't already set up your accessibility shortcuts and then you happen to add this as one of your custom actions, it won't work unless you've already set this up previously. If I do a long press, you'll see at the top where the volume button is going down. And that is how you do Assistive Touch.